everyone, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Today we are working on the rest of the Willow Creek families. We're starting off with the Lewis family. I know that in game they're marked as like Spencer Kim Lewis, but I changed Alice and Olivia's last name to just be Lewis. It just simplifies things for me. I have a hard time keeping track of hyphenated names, so just giving them all the same last name makes it easier. But we're starting with Eric. In my game, he is, excuse me, sorry, he's working in the doctor career. So I just wanted to make sure that I kept him quite simplistic when I dressed him, but I changed his skin tone to, I think, a custom skin tone, because the in-game EA skin tones, especially the ones for black skins, either feel really ashy or they just have this weird cool undertone. Also, sorry about this weird moment of me not doing anything. I think I stepped away from my computer and I kept recording, so I'm sorry for that. Also, I changed the speed. Last time I used times 10 speed for the Goth family, and then I think I'm using times 5. So let me know how you feel about how quickly the cast is going, if you like this one or the other one more. But both him and Bob Pancakes, I struggled really bad with the type of hair to put on them. Again, I struggle with male Sims in general, so the fact that there's so many in the game, you'll see as I progress through the rest of the households throughout the rest of the world that it's quite difficult for me to do male Sims. But I just put some body hair on him. I actually really like the way that his face turned out. I am trying to keep the plastic surgery to a minimum with all of the Sims. However, for some of them, it's mostly because I've seen what the genetics between them, the parents and the kids, and sometimes the kids just turn out wonky no matter how many times I randomize them. But I've now moved on to Vivian, who I have her as a retired pianist in my game, so I wanted to give off that vibe with her clothing, and I think I succeeded pretty well. Something I'm doing for my Elder Sims is I'm giving them this base skin overlay by I can't remember who it is, but I'll put it up on the screen. And then I'm using a old person overlay, but I think it's either by Northern Siberia Winds or by Obscurus. And then a bunch of other eyebrow lines and all of that, just to give them that age look. I don't like the overly saggy faces. It's The Sims. I want it to look nice. So I just give them minimal to mild aging on their face. I knew that I wanted to have her have this kind of afro instead of the shaved hair. So I gave her this one. I saw this one the other day when I was scrolling through cast, and I thought that's perfect for her. A bunch of my Sims are having this weird issue with their necklaces where they're being all contorted. So you can see here I tried fixing her shoulder and neck area and even her posture, just to see if I could fix why some of the necklaces were just clipping with her and I couldn't. So if you guys know what's going on with that, please let me know. But just minimal makeup. And then again, I used clothing by Gilded Ghosts for my Elder Sim, for this Elder Sim. And I just love that I love their CC. I do need to download more of them for Elder Sims, or just more clothes in general for Elder Sims. But I like the idea that her and Alice's mom, Lydia, spend a decent amount of time with Olivia. And so Olivia knows both of her grandmas, and she has interests from both of them. We move on to Alice now. And I tried really hard to give her, like, make sure I keep Asian features, so smaller lips and uh the hooded eyes. I was gonna give her a much thinner nose, but I kind of liked um her like thicker button nose, so I kept that. I honestly love the way that she turned out. I gave her quite this like, I don't know, it's not hippie, but more of like I don't know what the word is, but like she has like this like loose top and like some skirt and a skirt and like some flats. 'Cause I like to think that she doesn't like to wear tight clothing while she's painting or just like moving around in general. I feel like with the rest of her outfits that she wears quite loose, simplistic, like natural clothing. Um I know in the video of the um Goth family, I said that I was gonna post the rest of their like a look photos of the rest of their outfits on Tumblr. I am still gonna do that. I just was struggling with figuring out the spacing of the videos and what I'm gonna do in each like cast video. I figured it out now. I wanted to try and complete Willow Creek in a month. Um and so I think I've figured out how to showcase pretty much everything. Obviously something I'm gonna do off camera, but showcase pretty much everything and be able to space all the videos out in a month. So I will be posting the rest of the outfits for both the Goth family and the rest of the households in this video over the weekend. So keep an eye on that from my Tumblr. I put this really cute like uh bangs hairstyle on her, and then I wanted to give her her arm tattoo back, but obviously I gave her a custom content one. Um, I knew, yeah, I put this shirt on her, and I wanted to keep that yellow color too, and then just like a little jean skirt. Um, I feel like she had, I think I put like a really simple ringer on her as well. Um, but now we've moved on to Olivia, who obviously I redid through cast genetics, so this is obviously a very different Olivia. Gave her the same aspiration and trait. I like to make sure that I don't have to come back into cast and tweak any of the like I don't have to move the Sims faces around with sliders when they age up. So I'm making sure that all the kids look nice when they, well, you know, structure wise look nice when they age up, and I just have to go in and add skin details and stuff like that. But I gave her, I think I gave her like an afro texture hair. Yeah, I think it was this one. I just think that because she got her dad's skin tone, that she would have had her dad's hair as well. I don't think that the Lewises will have another kid. I think a lot of the families who I add, who like I make over, or even that I like custom families I edit, will not have any further children. Like I'm gonna mark them with the MCC to not have any more kids. And then the male Sims that I know for a fact won't cheat on their wives, I'm also going to mark as will not have any more kids. They can't have like kids with anyone else. But I gave her this cute little pink top and jean skirt, and then these little socks with the sneakers. And then we move on to Lydia, who is Alice's mom, who in my game, I can't remember what she does. I think I know she's in something in the music career because I gave her like that kind of aspiration and a music lover trait. I can't remember what other traits I gave her in the end because I just gave her one trait for now. But I struggled a lot with her. I think like picking out a hair just because I wanted it to be something simple and pulled back, but pretty much all of my updo hairs are like these crazy updos. I think this is the one I gave her in the end. Um, again, because she doesn't exist as a sim previously, I had to use like parent genetics with Alice and just like when I'm making over, I have to make her not look like Alice, like an elder version of Alice. And now we're moving on to Dennis. Um, I didn't give him like that, like just hair around the sides and then bald on top, hairstyle. That, I don't know, I have a thing against like completely bald male Sims. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fan of it. I did adjust his, facial structure a decent amount. Um, I don't know. I thought his facial structure was a bit off. And also, for me, I'm kind of redoing all of these Sims in my Sim style as well. So they're gonna look quite different from like their EA counterparts. It's just bound to happen. But I am trying my hardest to keep them as close as possible. I did still give him like a receding hairline because obviously he was quite bald before. And then I gave him some facial hair. I don't like having my Sims be completely white gray. I like either like a dark gray or like their hair's just starting to gray kind of a thing. And then I gave him this button up with a sweater, and then I think I just gave him some slacks and some loafers. I don't think either one of them still wear their wedding rings. They are divorced in my game. Um, we are now moving on to Bob, who I changed his facial structure a good amount. If you guys have ever played like 100 Baby Challenge or like anything else and you've had a baby with Bob, you know that they can have some crazy genetics. And so I just wanted to, um, I feel like the pancakes may or may not have another kid. I did give them Iggy, um, but I think that they may or may not have, um, more children, so I wanted to make sure that both Bob and Eliza could have children on their own through MCC, and I wouldn't have to go back through and fix them because sometimes I just don't want to have to check all of the household's new kids. Um, I struggled a lot with his hair. I will say that. I think I wanted to give him like sometimes I wanted to give him shorter hair. I wanted to give him dreads. I wanted to give him locks. Some of them gave him like a quite high forehead, and I know that that is something that can't that like it's not like extremely common, but it is common with black men. I've seen a handful of it. Um, and I even got some advice from my cousin because I was like, I don't know. You'll see me going back and forth between like two same hairstyles over and over again. Um, but I think I went with like a like dreads up into like a bun kind of a hairstyle. I don't remember. But I do really like the way he turned out. Even though he has the slob trait, I like the idea that he's working on changing his trait. So because obviously him and Eliza have just recently uh fixed their marriage. I like that they had Iggy before they fixed their marriage. Like Iggy was just like, I don't know, maybe one of them was drunk one night and then they were being flirty. I don't know what I can't remember exactly what it came up with for the storyline of how Iggy came to be. This is the hairstyle that I was kind of debating whether or not to keep. Um, and I like the idea that he's turning his life around because they have a kid now and he doesn't want Eliza to hate him. And so he's bought a restaurant in the neighborhood and he's working on dressing himself more like not just, in some cargo pants and a t-shirt like all the day, every day. You can see, uh, you'll see with the rest of his outfits that some parts are like repeated. Like he still has very like maybe like three pairs of shoes. But I like to think that like Eliza went with him somewhere and helped him pick out some clothes. And now we're moving on to Eliza. I changed Eliza's facial structure so much. I am not going to apologize for that. I don't know what it was. This is actually, I think, like the second iteration of Eliza that I made over. I don't know what it was. I hated the first one that I did of her. Um, but I changed her facial feature a lot. I did also, even though they have a son right now, I did check to see what it would look like if they had a daughter, and she looks so beautiful. Um, anyway, I do really love the way that my Eliza turned out. I feel like she very much, I think she fits into my sim style way more than a lot of the other uh Sims do. I think because I wasn't trying to, because she doesn't have like a Sims 2, Sims 3 counterpart, I didn't have to try and keep her um like as authentic as I did, like specifically with Bella Goth. I tried not to change Bella Goth's structure too much because obviously the Sims team would try and keep her to, especially with their remake, they try to make her as close to an old version of her as they could. Um, but I initially gave Eliza these eyelashes, and then I remembered, oh yeah, she's supposed to have glasses, so I did have to go back and change out her eyelashes to like some twisted cat ones, but I still really like them. I struggled a lot here with what type of red she would have because I feel like she's a natural redhead. Um, but I went through a handful of different like hair overlays, and I found this one, and I love this red that she has on her hair. I did end up giving her like this um uh like bob hairstyle with like I think like both pieces behind her ears, like this one. Yes, this one's so cute. I love her glasses. And then I gave her some simple gold jewelry. I feel like she's very much like a gold girly instead of a silver. And then I think I gave her um no, I thought I gave her like a kind of matching um necklace to Bob, but I guess I didn't. And then I love I feel like she over blushes her face. I don't know why, but I think she does. And she wears a lot of pinks and stuff. I think I did give her back like the green top. I just can't remember. I think I gave her like an off-the-shoulder top with like some jeans and some platform sandals. And now we're moving on to little Iggy. Um, I did. I can't remember if it's in the recording or if I did it off camera. I did change his skin tone. Um, I feel like his skin tone was too different from his dad's. I think it's based off like his old skin tone or something, or maybe it's just like his because of all the skin details. His dad just looks different. But I think I like went in and found Bob's skin tone and gave it to Iggy. So he may or may not look different. I can't remember. I knew I wanted to give him some like braids, so I gave him these short ones. And I was gonna give him like pierced ears, but I was like, no, nah. I think I gave his dad like one pierced earring. I think that's why I wanted to give him some pierced ears. And then I just gave him some simple little cute toddler clothes. I did give him the charmer trait, which I think is from like the actual gallery version of Iggy. So, and now we are moving to the Scott Holiday family, which if you watched episode 2, I think it was, you would have seen, you would have heard me explain a little bit why Liberty is not here. So Liberty, Summer, and Travis were all friends, and they were living in an apartment building together. But Liberty got a call from her brother from Tomarang saying that his wife had passed away, and even though he's moved back with their mom, he needs help taking care of his 2 kids. So she flew home to live with them, and I like to think even when they were living in that apartment that Travis and Summer had a romantic relationship. And so after Liberty flew home, they got married. I feel like a few months later, like it would have been right away, and moved into their own place in Willow Creek. Um, and they now have a little baby. So I like to I changed I changed quite a bit in Travis, and he looks very different to EA Travis, even though I didn't change like a whole lot. But I drastically changed Summer. I just don't like the way that Summer looked originally. But we're moving on to Summer now. I struggled a lot with um the type of hair that Summer would have and the type of jewelry and the way that she would dress. But I was this is actually the third version of Summer um that you're seeing. I decided that her family is more of like a middle class, upper middle class, like wealth status. And so I feel like maybe some of her jewelry pieces are from her mom or that she got when she was younger, and she just has like sentimental value. Um, and she has this hair that looks, really expensive, but it's like her natural hair that she just kind of styles. Um, but I like to think that she doesn't like to keep herself unkept. Um, you'll see when I put like her jewelry on. I think it's when I go to put like her ring on or something. The initial earrings and necklace that she had on was quite like expensive looking, and then I switched out for more simple looking jewelry. I again because I want them to be blonde, but I don't like the EA blonde colors. I used some hair overlays. This is the one that I gave her, so I think that she just like curled her hair a little bit and then pinned it. I wanted to keep the original blue top color that she had, and then I think I gave her like just like a simple pair of jeans or something. But as you can see, she obviously looks a lot more expensive than she should for where she lives. You'll see at some point where I go back in through and I change like her earrings and her necklace. I like to think she also wears like multiple rings and just has like long natural nails. Um, like I said, she keeps herself like she doesn't like to be unkept. So now we're moving on to Tracy, who is Summer and Travis's daughter. I kept her quite simple looking. I like to think that she maybe has hand-me-down clothes from when um Summer was an infant and a toddler, and then her mom just puts her hair up in like little ponytails. Um, but yeah, if you guys like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know the next time I post a video, and I will see you guys next time.